Hello there, Jake Like here, gaming lawyer at your service. We're back again with Great Ace Attorney. And this time we're in another room, or in another cabin, or in another room cabin. Alright. Anything. We are joined with Sholmes this time, and I hate him. I hate him. But we must continue with the story. So, without further ado, though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret guard so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective, greatly admired great deduction to the case of great. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes? I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I've reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Huh! And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment, no less in the midst of committing a very most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your most quivers with nervous tensions as you realize you have discovered. Does it not? Ugh. Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle! Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, and I have experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things you wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us walk through my deductions together. The great deduction, the game is afoot. Topic 1, Old Man's Identity. Conclusion. Okay, this is a mini A game mechanic, it seems. So, the dubious looking Russian, Mr. Roylett, obviously what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pairs of shears in your hand. Now we ask yourself what you could possibly want with such an implement. The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now moving along. The question then back is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylett? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylett. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, "Revolutionary Villain, Bolshevik Flees Russia via Shanghai." And as you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. But having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before you gave yourself away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I have heard of you myself, you understand. Yes, and it's completely wrong, probably. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of the crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylett. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its content laid bare. No, I refuse. I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your callous coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elemensky. Susato-san, that wasn't one of the greatest deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. I think we have the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier. At the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary. Well, able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Riley does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you push really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity in itself. Don't contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of the contortionists in a circus, Mr. Sholmes. My God, if all these pointless deductions end up being that is just a freaking pet in a case. Let's continue. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something has occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observations are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little, maybe a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seems to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions. Yes, very tactfully. I feel surely if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Kill me. It's not that funny. And you know, my good fellow, sorry. Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? What? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you're a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. So, did you obviously what case should I never? Okay, this is just a repeat. Alright. Now we ask ourselves what could possibly one such implement. The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I doubt that's something I ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Rylet either. Which means I suppose the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Rylet. I wonder if it's really this beard that he intends to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Rylet really going to use those enormous shears for? Thick hat. Oh, golden locks. What do we have here? Golden locks. What the? What's this? It looks like a cascading of stunning golden locks. No. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Ryler's head? How is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Okay. I should just present this, right? Yes! Golden locks. I'm doing the same thing as him. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks, you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush, golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman, and judging from the length of sheen of hair, that's pretty shallow of you, be honest, okay? One's still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have expected. The question then back is this: why would you decide to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. You have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the... Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that woman was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducting the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business, not strictly... Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deductions, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true. Given that Mr. Ryler is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes, Let's switch the evidence for something else, something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her total identity. I feel as though I've either read blah blah. Okay, I knew. Alright, I'll do my best. We all know what evidence it is. This one. Pling, you're useless, Sholmes. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about Ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the... No, that's right. You hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Or should I say? She's pretty. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. A ballerina on the run. Shoved. Wrongdoing. Kidnapping of a young woman. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes... Okay. Same thing. Let's move on, please. Move on. Right. The proof of your crimes is so confusing. This woman is the ballerina and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside the traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems we wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? Ha! I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruto-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. What? Ooh, what's that? Crown. Can I turn around here? No. Let's choose the crown. Pretend. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to that tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Egg! Adjusting my... What's that? The hat, it has a name. Bushka? Bush? Something, I don't know. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone and I need money. But I did not steal tiara. The tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, An Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Okay. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, come, let us not be hasty. What? What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. Is it reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed? Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My my dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of contents of your case even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Okay. Excuse me. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books of Sure. It's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the full bookcase into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? It doesn't seem that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case we have been reading in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. And there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, there's only one answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Mirror picture, passage. I think it's this one. Let me read this. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard SS Buria. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in cabins. Passengers strictly forbid. Yes. Yes. Sherlock Sholmes wasted my time. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruto-san. You'll probably be left to drift in a freezing cold ocean, or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Present! Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case, written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons on the other dangerous objects in the blah 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 whatever. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous items would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. So lame. Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage a pet? Possession of a prohibited animal. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. And with that, we're out of time again. Yes, it's that time again. That time again, I say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Hope you are enjoying this so far. I am enjoying it. Not really. I still miss Kazuma. But yes, hope to see you next time. So take care, stay hopeful, but be critical. Bye bye.